Good evening, sir.
Hi, Siddharth.
Good evening,
All,
sir.
all set?
Yes, sir.
So I believe HP had done a webinar with you guys with your college last week. Trezi was there with HP as well. The lady that you'd spoken to, Suhashri or whatever her name was, she had
Yes, sir.
organized a webinar with the ANU students last week. Apparently, मुझे आज ही पता चला.
I don't think, sir. I don't know about it actually.
Okay. नहीं, I got an update. मेरे को मेल आया था, so इसलिए मैंने बोला अरे वाह यार.
Hmm.
So that's a good follow up. Within a week we are meeting twice, so that's good. There's more recollection that way. Na? So how many students are we expecting today?
Sir, around 50 around.
Okay.
They are from different states.
Oh, okay. So everybody's at home right now, right?
Yes, sir. It's not from a single college. They are from like Lucknow College, like
Oh,
UP.
okay. So different colleges.
In the,
Wow. Okay. Nice.
like in that way. I think, sir, we have to wait till 5:10 or 5:05
Okay. All right. No
for
problem.
everybody to join.
Okay. No problems. I'll be on mute. Let me know. Huh?
Yes, sir. Yes. Good evening, sir.
Hi, Siddharth. Can you
Good
hear
evening.
me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I can hear.
Hello, Gautam sir. How are you?
Hi, Prem. All good. Yeah. क्या हाल है?
Yeah, बस बढ़िया.
So we have to wait for 10 to 15 minutes to everybody to join.
Yeah, I was just checking whether the link is working or not. So
Even I wanted to. अभी इतना सारा bandwidth खाता है ना आजकल हर चीज तो you never know some
हाँ,
snafu occurs. So ठीक है, we'll be back like I mean I'll be on mute and I'm just shutting the camera. So whenever we're ready
yeah.
to start, बता देना सीधा.
Yes,
We'll
sir.
be
Yes, sir.
back.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Yes, sir.
मैं भी म्यूट पे जा रहा हूँ.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good evening, Hetal sir.
Good evening, Siddharth.
Yes. So we are waiting for 5 minutes for the audience to join. Hello, sir. Hello.
Hi,
Hi, good evening.
are we ready to start?
Yes, sir. Yes, I think we should start with the meeting.
Okay.
I just have to go through a introduction little bit.
Sure.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you for taking out time and joining us for today's talk series. My name is Siddharth Prasad, and I'm a fifth-year student at Anand National University. Just a little information before we get started. If you have any questions during the presentation, please type them into the chat box in the Google Meet panel, and I'll bring them up during the presentation. And we'll also have time for questions at the end. So, yes, right away, today is the fourth of the series being presented by architect Hetal Mistry, architect Prem Sharan Patel, and architect Gautam Tiwari, sir. So, we'd be honored to have you share your thoughts and gain knowledge, sir.
Okay.
Now, I would like
Great.
to
Thanks for having
introduce.
us over here.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for having us over. Really appreciate it.
So, now I would like to introduce our first presenter, architect Hetal Mistry. An architect by education, SEP with 20 years of experience. Initially, he worked with architecture firm Mataru Associates since last 14 years, exploring emerging technologies, integration in field of architecture design and delivery. Currently working as a senior VP at Active Studio, providing BIM services to AEC industries across USA, UK, and Asia. Over to you, sir.
Okay, thanks for the introduction, Siddharth. Uh, good evening, everyone. This is Hetal Mistry. Uh, just give you a brief on what I'm trying to show you and some technology that we have been working since more than 14 years. And it's not the new thing, but it's been always been emerging right from the beginning of it. We say that every year it is changing the way we are using our technology or we are delivering the projects and things like that. So I'll just take you through some of the work that we did. Those are the small projects, and also introduce how the BIM or overall integration and emerging technology or introduction of technology in overall architecture design and delivery will help when you start working on it. So I have a small presentation and you can have any questions and you can definitely ask me or any process or anything that we have done. And so I'll start with a PPT here. Okay. My screen is visible, correct? Yeah. Siddharth, are you able to see my screen?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Screen is visible.
Yeah. Fine. So this is a technology where we started means to work on a BIM platform. Before that, definitely, as we used to work on we started when I joined architecture practice. We started with the drafting details initially, and then also the CAD was there. So as we say that the world before CAD and world after CAD introduced into the industry, how the has changed the overall scenario of how the people started working, how the overall effort and overall efficiency was increased. At the same time, there were some pros and the cons of what we used to do in as a hand drafting and what we used to do in CAD drafting. Means like CAD has a definite means in CAD there's a command called copy paste. So that command I think has wrote many times definitely helped, but also created chaos and other information that we missed to see or detail out. So both had a pros and cons, but in CAD definitely the way we used to work was a bit different than the way we used to work on a drafting table. And similarly, when we started working on BIM platform, which is more of a 3D with an information, it has definitely changed the way we have been working. And we are the more is like how how we work and how we collaborate with each other, how the integration and coordination with other disciplines, and how to solve more and more complex excuse me, more and more complex design problems, how to design and more means geometry with parametric uh, conditions and algorithm. So this is like, it has given us some more opportunity to see, analyze the way we design, the way we share our ideas, and the way we share our thoughts, or put it more inform design decisions, or it has overall increased the speed the way we can introduce and share ideas with others. This is just the three scenarios that I've been got a chance to work in. And definitely, we started in a school where we used to do hand drafting and had models, uh, physical models of wood or any cardboards. Then we started working on CAD, doing details and major CAD drafting details, or designing everything in CAD or 2D blocks. And further on, how we start working on a 3D platform. So it is like always, it is more informed designs. At the same time, it has more uh, less chances of errors when we see multiple levels, when we compare plan sections and elevations. Definitely, that's the one thing. What is there in a 2D, it is there in a 3D. So when the beam got introduced, it has started all the teams members who are working on a different consultant like architecture structure, MEPF, and the site, or other team members used to work as a part of the team. But at the same time, integrating all those model, all those information has started generating new issues. So managing those information is also a huge task, and how well and how composed and systematically you manage those information is also a primary requirement of overall BIM scenario when we work. At the same time, when we look at the industry, there are multiple software which are available, and means also different firms use different software to design the way they are comfortable with, the way they are comfortable designing a more complex geometry, or a quick workaround of a design, or look at the integrating different disciplines together, doing analysis of structure or a mechanical part. So the multiple types of softwares have been introduced in the industry, and how well we can work together, or how best we interoperate those softwares to get benefit of those information which is generated at one platform, and how it is transferred to other platform, or how we can combinedly use those information so it can work as a one stream project. So this was the main challenge that we started facing on. So means like, definitely people started using Rhino source to develop geometry, parametric modulation, and then transfer those geometries to actual BIM model. There are several software which are currently in industry. One we started using was the Dynamo, which will help one to generate the same type of geometry through programming language, which is supported in the Revit software, and the same geometry can be replicated from Rhino to BIM, and then further on developing a geometry and the skin and other structural part or a facade elements into the BIM software. So this is one route of interoperability, but definitely there are other routes of interoperability between different softwares. So when you start at a conceptual stage, you work on one software. Then you start at the design or documentation stage, or at the construction stage, you work on a different software. So it is like interoperability between different softwares on how best you can do it, because there are not many available in the industry. You need to choose the one which is best for you, and then take it forward. So these are like, and how we see that, okay, the BIM is done, but how it is getting constructed on site. So ultimately, it is going to help to the people who are working on site. So the BIM at the for more complex project as well as for the more project information with a larger scale of projects. So how you develop those actual drawings for the complex geometry facade, and things have been uh, possible when we start using this softwares, and so it has all actual 3D information, actual three-dimensional points, coordinates to uh, construct or to get the geometry, actual size of the facades and things like that. So these are like different software that we can work together. Like Dynamo will take up, it's a visual programming language where we can work with a basic coordinate points and transfer geometry from the develop geometry, develop facade, and apply different types of parametric curtain wall systems to those things. So, and as I say that when you started a project with one software from a design drawing or a sketch, and how you take forward the same thing from a basic model of a lower LOD, means lower LOD means like level of detail that you introduce into the model, to how we take it to the level where it is at higher design documentation or CD stage, what we call a construction documentation stage or working drawing stage. So how we transfer from a basic sketch to a detailed model, and then adding more detail, which is like we used to do in a 2D, but actually the same thing can be replicated in 3D, and it can integrate other discipline elements to check the constructability, to check how is there any clash between these different elements. And so this is like architecture and structural element, but when you start working, adding more and more mechanical, electrical, and other discipline elements, it get more populated, it get more complex. So coordinating all these things together in BIM, it is possible because we are actually doing it before the things are getting constructed on site. So it helps you to solve problem. It helps you to check the available spaces, or is there any major issue with when you start coordinating or when you start compiling those information together. So these are some basic sketch of BIM models. Then one more thing that we have been always try to achieve from BIM is to extract actual quantities of elements, actual list of equipments, list of types of equipment, types of element that we have been used, number, size, area. So these are quantity of each and every element that we use in a building can be quantifiable, and it has exact information in terms of what is there in the project. It will give you a correct information. So quantity schedule, what we call it 4D of a project. Further on, I'll just take you through a couple of small projects that we have worked on. So it will give you grants of how BIM can be helpful in a project. This is an old existing building where there was a renovation project. So how BIM was used to identify, used to visualize the overall old building to the new building, and what are the things which are getting demolished, what are things which are getting temporarily built, and how the final product will look. So we are adding information to the each and every element, that in terms of phase, that this is the existing part of a building, this is the demolition part of a getting demolished, these elements are getting demolished, and these elements are there which are getting getting constructed as a new element. So these are the type of visualization that we normally take out of the BIM, is saying that existing is looking like this. Then we add information to the existing, which are getting removed or which are getting demolished. So all the red part which you see out here is elements with an information to as a phase of getting demolished during particular construction stage. And then when we add new construction elements, how the building is going to look, same angle. So this type of visualization will help you to, or everyone to present to the client, make the construction team or other team member who are included or in part of the team of a project, they can go through this and they understand how exactly the overall things are getting built. So these are some examples, and similarly, using technology to capture building through point cloud information, and how these are the information captured through Razor's point cloud scanning of a building, and then those information is used to construct the facility building, and then add more information on doing uh, for phase-wise construction. What I do. Okay. This is how we compare a design options or study the visualization of how things will get moved from one phase to other, and what will be a before and after condition. This is one project which we did for BEAM in SEP. This is a net zero energy building. So integrating all the information of a project for various analysis purpose, and also adding information to each and every equipment, each and every material or layer that we have been used in the project for the analysis. For this is for the area analysis, that we calculate the volume of a project, volume of each room, size, then adding information on how much surface area is available for solar panels, and how much we can generate energy through this solar panel. All this analysis out there. Adding more information on various product which is being used to the project. So along with 3D, we get information on what actual materials are. This study of light analysis. Is the solar daylight is enough, adequate or not? We can study through various opening and size analysis. Studying for natural, this is like again a natural light analyzing, daylight analyzing study. Visualizations of actual rendering. CFD analysis for how the wind and thing will work in this area. So using BEAM at different energy analysis and other building use analysis. Adding material by layers of a project. What are the insulation materials are there? What are the finishes on final surfaces? What are inner substrates are there? Adding information on layers, waterproofing. So you can create overall quantity to understand exact information, exact condition, how it's getting built. Getting scheduled quantity extract from a project. What all equipments are involved, what are the product information, what are the own manufacturers information. So this all information will get populated into BIM model, and one can easily identify the products. This is how the building will look when we just see, do the transparency of a skin and see the services which are get there. This is a small project where we showing how a prefabrication would help when there's when we do through BIM. So this is like a project where it is getting constructed in US and getting built in New Zealand. So how the overall project is designed, all the elements are being manufactured at one continent and then transferred to the other country, and it get built out there. So for this project was like modular system for 7x7 foot modular system, and used for multiple types of units, residential units, and how this can be further populated to develop one bedroom house or a living room and a kitchen integrated house. This is like a modular system, and then identifying the product, identifying the elements of structure, identifying the element of the roofing system for the facade and interior parts. And then when we compile together for a project, how multiple modular elements are getting combined together, making a large residential project, and counting or extracting informations of each and every product which has been used in a project at the design stage only, then getting quantity of parts, elements, junction conditions, load rates. So these are like multiple ways to use information which we develop in a BIM and then take it forward for quantity and things like that. So when we get a schedule of a product which is for each and every elements, that these are the number of pieces that can need to construct at this stage of this size and this uh, joint conditions. So everything gets manufactured at a factory, and then same thing can be applied for the site adaptation part, where we put actual BIM model with the site topography condition, checking whether what is the condition when we need to construct a plinth and once the factory is manufacturing or has manufactured all the products, how it gets shipped to the site and assembled at site, and the building is ready at the time. So these are the final product images. Then we check about the constructability. When we work on a large scale project, we always work on type of information that we put in the project to verify how the buildings will or the elements will come together. Check the constructability of each and every element. And useful for the people who are working on site condition. Develop virtual mock-up which are actually representing the project. Doing a site logistic analysis, identifying which will get first built, which area is getting as a storage part, and which area, how the movement of vehicle would be there. So all these things come up when we start adding information as a phase or as a. But this BIM is used throughout for at a various stages of a project, and it is up to the user or team who is working on it that how best they can use it, what information they want to extract, how they want to share those information to the team who is working on a different part. Okay, so this is all a short intro from my end. And
yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your thoughts. I would like to request for if anybody wants to ask some question related to this presentation. You can unmute themselves. Yes. Okay, let's start with the next presentation. If yes, sir. So, thank you, sir, for sharing your thoughts. So moving forward to our next presenter, architect Prem Sharan Patel. He studied BR from BC Patel School of Architecture, APID, Vallabh Vidyanagar, and gained a diploma in Advanced Computing Arts from Center of Development of Advanced Computing, Ahmedabad. He is the head of the Department of Visualization Studio in HCP Design, Planning and Management Private Limited. He has been associated with this firm since last 15 years. He has introduced usage of VR, AR app development, 3D scanning and aerial survey, etc. in the firm. Over to you, sir.
Thanks, Siddharth. Good evening, everyone. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
So the topic that given to us is role of IT in architecture designs. As we already know, the design process consists of these many steps. It starts from defining the problem, then we collect the information, data, context, everything. Then we brainstorm with each other in office, within our friend circle or seniors. Then we develop and build a model develop a solution. Then we present this idea or solution to clients, and after receiving feedback from client, we improve our design, and the circle continues. We go further and further and further and keep refining our designs. So during this step 4 and 5, which we generally call design development stage or presentation stage, we need a lot of visualization where we show clients in graphical form how our ideas are going to look like, or how our ideas are going to function. And this is where IT has played a crucial role. Generally, for visualization, the tools which are currently being used, common tools which are SketchUp, 3D Max, Rhino, Lumion, Photoshop. If you want to create basics, say mass of the model, or basic visual of the model, you use SketchUp. You need, if you need advanced visuals, you go to Max, Rhino, or for faster animations, you use Lumion, and sometimes Photoshop is also being used. So in our firm, we use various other softwares also as per our need. Not only we don't only rely on the conventional tools. We use various different softwares, various different tools, and try and check whether they fulfill our requirements or not. The role of IT is to suggest right tools as per the need. For students and for young professionals who are starting their practice, or even people who are going to get jobs in other companies, they may not be able to afford all those tools. They cost very high. They require a lot of training. They require a lot of expertise. And yeah, sometimes there are cheaper alternative, or we can say open source or free alternatives available, which can be used to do our needful job. Sometimes you may not use 3D Max or Rhino or high-end 3D softwares just to convey the idea. Even sometimes it gets done in image editing softwares as well. For example, this is one of the projects where we needed to convey the idea to how to improvise the current situation. As you can see in this image, this was the current situation. So we have brainstormed and thought about it, and then put few design elements and improvise this, and then be able to convince the client that yeah, this can be done and this can be improvised. Flower beds are populated with flowers. We put some arches with flowers, some murals, some sculptures, tourists, some birds in the sky, and idea gets conveyed. This is from another angle. Here also the site is excellent. It's a hill station, but the particular park isn't being used. So we presented with some ideas, and that's how it is going to look like. This was one of the access where people go to zipline tower and have a ride. So it is not necessary to use 3D software, because all we had was this images, existing images, and we need to present idea. We didn't have that survey contour data or existing site survey. So it gets done in picture also. Although the Photoshop, which is a good and one of the best image editing tool, but is there any free alternative or open source alternative to this? So we checked, and this graphical image manipulation program, which is completely free and open source, it has most of the Photoshop's functionalities and all the layers and filters and everything is there. So we can use that also. Okay, apart from image editing, we also use 3D renderings, but not so, sometimes we don't get time and we don't get to work on very detailed 3D rendering. So sometimes we render this much area and then take it to image editing software and uh, add other elements like sky, bird, sometimes even grass. Sometimes we add trees, we remove trees, we color correct images, and they look like this. For close-up facade views, sometimes we put elements like aeroplane, sky. Uh, so from this image to this image, it takes around a couple of hours only. If we do it in Max software and try to get this kind of quality in Max, then it may take a couple of days more. And usually we don't have that much time. So one can take SketchUp views and try adding Photoshop layers and get similar results. Yeah, if you know any video editing software like After Effects or Premiere, and since you have all the elements in separate layers, you can give them some movement and get a result like this. You can add music, you can add clouds, birds, you can just zoom in, zoom out images, panning. It is not as accurate as animation rendering, but yeah, it is fast and it conveys the idea, it conveys the design, and clients get convinced by this. Some leaves are flying, butterflies are. If you are good at Photoshop, you can turn them into night views also. So is there any free alternative of 3D Max or say 3D visualization software? Yes, this is there is this Blender, which is completely open source, free to use, free to change, free to share, free to sell your work. It is commercially also free. And if you search in Google and go to their site, their Windows installer is just 161 MB. So I think young professionals, students should take a look at it and try it. It is also compatible with Mac OS, Linux, Steam. One of my friend tried and he got a success in installing in Android phone also. So yeah, it has a lot of possibilities. It can be used for views, animation, modeling, VFS, game development, 3D printing, VR, AR, 360 panels. It can do everything. But But the question is Blender good enough for architecture visualization? So we tried and checked in websites. This eMirage org, which has produced this Barcelona pavilions model, and daytime view in golden hour. It looks it has all the functionalities during blue hour or say twilight. It has all the lighting settings and available. It is a bit complicated, but yeah, if someone tries and then the benefit is it is free. So I mean for entire life it is free. So one can yeah, in interior views also materials and everything gives very realistic visuals. So we tried for one of our project. This was rendered in 3ds Max, and we tried and took this model to Blender. And in your left screen, the image is rendered in 3D Max. Right side, this is done in Blender. So it is quite possible to achieve a similar result. We are also just trying recently and getting into it. Is there yeah, so all these still images, animation, that's okay, but future is the interactive virtual model. So everybody is trying to get designs conveyed through VR, AR, virtual models. So there is this software called Twinmotion. It is being around for since past couple of years, and I think they have improvised a lot. It is currently free for personal use, and I think for students and academicians. For commercially, they charge, but it is very affordable with compared to other softwares. So I have created a presenter which they call for their interactive model. This is one of the plan view. Interactivity is in terms of changing the light, time of the day. One can change angle. You can move around the model. If you have set presets, you can go ahead and jump into the model. There is this pedestrian mode and fly mode. We are currently in the fly mode. So we can go into pedestrian mode and we can move around. We can go back and forth. And they have this very nice library of trees, materials, people, vehicles, everything. So one can try. Yeah, it will require some heavy high-end graphic cards to operate smoothly. But yeah, one can try with current systems and can go into night mode as well. After certain times, it settles its exposure and you can see blue sky, stars. If you set a time, you will be able to see the moon as well. There are various angles that we can set, make a preset and just click and you can reach there. You can move around a bit. You can set seasons like autumn and winter. This is normal. Yeah, this is rainy season, monsoon. Rain is pouring. You can also, although we are not lucky to have snow here, but yeah, you can set as per your need. For aerial also, one can try and set seasons. So that's one of the very all-in-one sort of software, and it can give good results in very short time. It can render up to 8K visuals, 360 videos, 8K in VR mode. So yeah, it can do a lot of things. Okay, all these digital models, and we really miss our good old uh, wooden models, physical models, or say thermocol models, or cardboard models. So what can we do with the help of technology that is going to make our all virtual models into physical models? So recently, not recently, but since past 5-6 years, this 3D printing technology is getting popular, and a lot of people are started using it. The architects are still not using in that much areas, but yeah, this can be, you can make site models existing, propose another angle of this model. Some present scenario, this is historical scenario, and this one is vision. You can take a printout of satellite image and put 3D printed blocks over it and check whether it sets matches with the existing areas or not. This was done for our urban morphology study. We took 500-meter area from various international cities, and tried and checked about their density and build forms, and we made around 30-40 such tiles. They are all 100 mm by 100 mm tiles. It can be useful as a library of 3D printed forms. Whenever we require, we take a reference of these tiles, and it can be used for product designs also. This was 3D printed, completely 3D printed model of a lampshade. What are the affordable alternatives of 3D printing? There are many branded international brands who are selling 3D printers, and they cost in lakhs. But is there any affordable which students and young professionals, or people who are recently into practice can use? So there are these 3D printing kits available online. You can order from Amazon, Flipkart, or many other sites. There are many Indian manufacturers are also which can provide you such machines, which is really helpful for our designs to convert our virtual or digital models into physical. So that's it for now. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for portraying us how well we can work with the design outcomes. And more, sir, I would like to request you that all of us, we know that HCP has also worked for the Rajpath project in New Delhi. So we very much like to hear that if what are the challenges you have faced at that time for that in terms of technologies and how we have come up with the final proposals or within a limited time. So
I mean, technological challenges are not much because we already have started using taking advantage of technology, and we are already at a certain level where we are confidently used for our projects. But yeah, as I showed you that circle, 6-point circle. So for such a large scale project, we need to run many times that circle. We keep running, still we are keep running, and yeah, that's the main challenge for us to convince client and convey our ideas, communicate our ideas, and convince them.
thank you, sir. There is one drop-off question, I think, uh, from Vedant. Vedant, are you here? Just unmute yourself.
Yes. Yes, it does.
Yes, Vedant, you can ask.
I think what he meant to ask was whether we use Corona renderer or not. Vedant, yes, we do use Corona renderer. We do use V-Ray. We use Lumion. We use Twinmotion. I mean, we use everything. Whenever we get a chance, we take a hands-on experience and we try and use it in professional work. So yeah.
Yes, sir. Actually, I am confused between Twinmotion and Unreal Engine. So I don't know.
Unreal Engine, yeah, Unreal Engine is the company which has made this Twinmotion. They use their own platform, Unreal Engine, and yeah.
So Twinmotion used to be an independent company, and Unreal Engine is basically part of Epic Games. Epic Games is a gaming company. They are a rendering engine which was focusing on the gaming industry, and now they are aspiring to get into AEC space because their solutions, the visual solutions, are really, really good. Unreal Engine and Unity are two of the largest game engines around. So basically, Unreal Engine acquired Twinmotion 1 year back, and with an absolutely critical focus on architecture, engineering, and construction industry, and with amazing results. I mean, it was awesome what Prem showed. It's the kind of results that that Twinmotion was able to bring in through. It's a lot of gamification that has been achieved, ease of use, because Twinmotion was not the easiest software to use before Epic Games picked it up. And now the amalgamation of the visual quality and the gamification is really bringing about amazing results for Twinmotion.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Actually, basically, I saw the videos of Unreal Engine, so I found some things like when we come in near the switch, so they show the on and off options and that type. So
Unreal Engine actually has Datasmith. Datasmith is a bit more codified approach to creating VR content and really good hyper photorealistic solutions. But then you really need to get into Unreal Engine with a lot of depth. What Prem was suggesting was quick options, not getting fussed about the visual output, but having a design solution ready so that your design, the loop that Prem showed, that is very important. You can't fuss over the visual quality too much at times, and you have to get your design process going. Prem would be able to expand on that.
It doesn't end there. I mean, you will always have feedback, and you are going to run that circle again, and you will generate visuals again. So it is better to get results quickly rather than going deep and going into coding and everything. And Yeah, if you have interest, you can certainly go inside that, and it is a really interesting word. But for architects, for visualizers, I think that will be a little bit distraction. So better to stick to the design and to the visualization.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Vedant.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
So I would like to move towards the concluding presentation by architect Gautam Tiwari sir. Gautam Tiwari sir is the co-creator of Trazy, India's first VR platform for the building industry, development under the ambit of his startup SmartVizX. A graduate from the University of New South Wales, Tiwari holds a master's degree in construction management and is a lead accredited professional, a skilled orator. Tiwari has been invited extensively to speak at trade events, also the potential of immersive technology to change the way the building industries has functioned over the years. Over to you, sir.
Thanks, Siddharth. First and foremost, many thanks for having us over today. And I must compliment Hetal and Prem for amazing sessions. You guys have really set the bar very high. I hope I can keep up. But a great session, great initiative, Siddharth.
Yes, Prem sir, I think you have to stop the presentation. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
So just getting started, I'll first start sharing my screen. Just give me a second, please. Okay, can you folks see my screen?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Okay, so guys, what we have done in the 3 quarters of the session that we've already run, Hetal and Prem spoke about a very horizontal way of implementing technology in the profession, how their practices have brought technology in to great effect, and how I think the most important message that I kind of took away from both these sessions was that we do not need to kind of run away from technology as we have been guilty of as a profession, but embrace solutions, and solutions that are useful, solutions that create a loop of knowledge for us, and that loop of knowledge is something that we have to focus on in terms of what we need to deliver for our clients. So what I am going to be talking about is, now I'm going to be diving deeper into what we do as a company, and I am going to dive much deeper into one vertical, which is immersive technology and virtual reality in particular. And then I'm going to take you guys through to, if you were to implement virtual reality, bring it into your workflows, what you really need to do. And we'll spend 2-3 minutes talking about the product we have created, Trazy, which is India's first virtual reality based product, and competing at a global level now. And also then just kind of quickly show you how what kind of users we have currently and what you would need to do in case you want to kind of come on board. So very quickly, I'll just like to quickly spend a minute in terms of what brought me here, why am I here, a bit about me. As Siddharth has already established, I'm an architect from IIT Vallabh and I did my master's in construction management from the University of New South Wales. I worked over 2 decades in India and also internationally. Before I started SmartVizX, I was the director for global projects for Asia Pacific's largest design and build firm. I co-founded SmartVizX in 2015, and in 2018 we launched Trazy, which as I said, is India's first virtual reality product. I'm a great fan of J.R.R. Tolkien. I'm very passionate about long distance running. I've done over 20 half marathons, 10 full marathons, including 2 in Ladakh. And right now I'm currently preparing in the middle of the lockdown, had this dream and started preparing for the Khardungla ultra marathon. It's supposedly the world's highest ultra marathon. And aside from work and running, cricket and hard rock music were really my first loves in life. I'm not sure which came first, but as far as my memory goes, they actually started in a parallel for me. So having established what I am about, let's just move forward. You've heard about this a bit already in bits and pieces from Hetal and Prem, but Autodesk also in its annual report of 2018 identified for the next 2 to 3 decades what are going to be the key trends that will shape our industry and the practices. And I would like the entire group, because we are talking to students today, I would like you, like Prem mentioned, somebody might have a calling around technology and you might want to dive deep into technology and pick something up, or you might want to kind of start a practice as soon as you graduate. There are 6 trends that we clearly see emerging, and if you would have noticed, that's exactly what Hetal and Prem also spoke about in the first 2 sessions, that building information modeling, growing use of cloud, digital real-time collaboration, 3D, more and more of 3D modeling, less and less of 2D AutoCAD stuff, immersive technologies, and Internet of Things. These are going to be the 6 defining technologies of our profession for the next decade and more. And I would really urge each one of you young architectural minds which are shaping up currently to endorse this, embrace this, endorse this, and take it forward in your way of professional being as once you start moving out into the profession. But we are here, I'm talking about immersive technology. Let's just take it a level deeper. And what exactly does immersive technology really mean? And we'll only be able to touch very basics right now. In case you want to dive deeper, please feel free to kind of get in touch with me separately. But immersive technology is a technology that allows you to interact with simulated world via the new age techs like virtual reality, augmented reality, mixed reality, and now we are even talking about extended reality. Some of bits and pieces from an image editing perspective. You saw what Prem was talking about in some of the projects that they did, but it's all going to move beyond. It's all going to become experiential in the future, not in the future, actually in the present. Now, very immediately, there are products available that are actually going to make you walk that promenade and things that Prem had showed in his presentation. In an immersive environment, the user blends the virtual environment with the less cognizant and is less cognizant of the physical environment. So you are actually immersed when you put on a VR headset. You are transported into that environment that is there, generated through CGI. The use of immersive technology are manifold, and it's spread across many industries. So AEC has a most commonsensical use for it, but the first industry which actually used virtual reality was the gaming industry. Education sees a huge use of it now. Entertainment, marketing, art, and healthcare, all these industries are waking up to the relevance and the importance of understanding their particular professions and their particular solutions via use of new immersive technologies. The quality of virtual environment depends on the hardware. Prem spoke about how Twinmotion might require a superior GPU to run. And that is, I think, the next big thing that our profession is going to see. We still run on outdated machines. I don't want to take any names, but one of the leading architectural practices that I was recently interacting with, they had a machine from the early 2000s in their office. Can you imagine that? And the whole world is now moving towards the superior GPUs. As of yesterday, Jensen Huang, not yesterday, I think a couple of weeks back. I saw the article yesterday, but I think it's a month-old news that NVIDIA announced, Jensen Huang announced RTX 3080 GPU, which is out there now. And the whole purpose of coming up with these faster GPUs is that as we move to the cloud, as more and more information is being provided to us in rendering frames, all of that needs a huge amount of visual compute to happen per second, and that is not going to happen on machines that are going to keep crying as you put in models that are going to be filled with the information that is necessary for real-time interaction to happen. So I feel we are at a cusp of technology inflection point where a huge surge of new age GPUs is going to filter into our industry, and it's good. I don't think it's bad at all. It's high time we embrace technology in the way it is supposed to be embraced and not shy away from it. There are supporting technologies that I just spoke about that are required to enable immersive tech, which include VR headsets, haptic, motion sensors, cameras, speech recognition. But now we are going a bit geeky here. A VR headset and a superior GPU can actually help you get there, and we're going to briefly touch upon that particular point as well. But how did virtual reality really come about? Is it new? Is it like just now? No, absolutely not. VR as a concept has actually been around since the 1880s. And the first real VR display came in the 60s, by 1962. Morton Heilig actually created Sensorama, a 3D display. And it was a very refined version of that bioscope that at least when I was a kid, we used to see. It was, we used to have something called, it was some viewer, it used to be called, I remember. And all of that was around immersive technology itself. Of course, the technology was not so advanced. But the whole evolution of immersive technology really started happening since the 60s. And in 1994, Sega actually released, Sega is one of the largest gaming companies from Japan. They actually released the Sega VR1, a head tracking VR device. But 2014 was really the big, 2012 to 2014 was the big evolution, big manifestation of VR in terms of it hitting mainstream, because Oculus came into the market. It raised about $2.4 million from a crowdfunded marketplace and released a $300 VR headset for it to go mainstream. The potential was so immense, guys, that Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook, actually acquired Oculus for $2 billion in 2014. And ever since, it's been just an upward surge for the technology. It moved beyond gaming, went into various other industries. And we say that in 2018, we had our big moment. And India also released the first virtual reality product for the building industry. And we are very proud to say Trezi was that, I mean, in fact, if you notice the whole presentation that we saw today, was there one Indian product in these presentations? No, because we have always been followers. We have not been trendsetters. We have not been leaders, but now we are firmly on the world map with a product of this nature. So how does immersive technology and architecture tie together? So today architects create, we saw a lot of this already today. Designers create their workplace, home designs, campus designs using 3D design modeling, authoring tools like SketchUp and Revit. There are other BIM tools as well. There's ArchiCAD and Bentley and various other things. The whole we architects communicate schematic and conceptual design to clients by generating static renderings from fixed viewpoints like PPT and various other things. And that's what, I mean, I'm not talking about the 3% of the technology leaders that you have on this particular call. 97% of our profession still works with static renderings. And that is the crux of problem that we are faced with. We communicate our designs with our clients in a manner that they do not understand. And that is where the whole gap of expectation starts to widen through the process of project delivery. And in the end, there is confusion because the client turns back and says that, hey, listen, my project does not look like what you had actually promised me at the beginning. And that is the problem with static rendering, because a lot of the design intent is left to interpretation than actual realization. So that's the next point. Since this medium is neither to scale nor immersive, other stakeholders often do not fully understand the design intent. And multiple design iterations, delays, design finalization due to lack of tools to explain is basically causing the big challenges that ail us. And that is the problem of collaboration. And we're going to talk about that a lot in the next 5 minutes, because again, if you noticed anything around the tools and tackles and products that we were talking about in the first two sessions, very few are products that are allowing multiple people to work on the models together. What needs to be solved is allowing people to get into a model together and work together, simply because the whole process of delivering a project in our industry is extremely fragmented. There are multiple stakeholders. There is the architect and architects team. There is then the consulting engineers. There is the client and clients team. And then, of course, there are the contracting partners and product manufacturers. And these are the problems that need to get solved for us to be able to kind of ensure that our industry also performs at the level at which other industries. I mean, construction is a $10 trillion industry, guys. And we still do not have a platform that allows multiple people to work with a similar level of understanding on our projects. So imagine the whole potential mess that we're dealing with, but that is one part. If there is a problem, there is also an opportunity. So imagine the opportunity that we have if we are able to kind of work with a solution that allows all of us to have a uniform level of understanding. So this is more of what I was talking about, and I just wanted to focus on the bottom half of the slide, this particular slide. Immersive technology is a constructively disruptive process. It will bring all stakeholders on the same level of understanding by creating a virtual meeting platform, and that is what we have done with Trezi. Design intent and communication discussions become rapid. Decisions are faster. Designs are also what the client truly understands. That it is not about, oh, I thought this or I thought that. Contractors are not going to come back and say, I built this because I thought this. Everybody is in the same model at the same point in time. The lack of or the gap in the understanding is actually very effectively managed by through a virtual meeting platform. And there'll be better coordination, better collaboration, better ways to communicate design, faster decision making, easier search, discovery, selection of building products. That's a massive problem. We keep, when we have to select products, we are dependent on physical catalogs and physical models and physical mock-up still. I mean, absolute wastage. Why would I not want to work with the digital twin? And that is what a new age platform of this nature allows you to work with. It will reduce costs associated with physical mock-ups and display, affordable ways to reach prospects and decision makers, and digital twins for product catalogs. The amount of saving we can bring in is tremendous. All it needs is understanding how a new age product works, embracing it, like I keep saying, and just getting on with it. If you are going to bring VR into practice, it's going to be a bit of a paradigm shift. Don't expect that it's going to be like you'll plug it into your machine and you will start working with it. What I loved about Prem's session was the fact that he is, excuse me, constantly looking at new products and how they solve a problem. And that's what each one of you should be actually kind of signing up for. There will be, so just give me a second here, something probably. Yeah. Till the time you do not spend time understanding the pros and cons of products that have come into the market, there is very little value that you will be able to generate for yourself or your customers. So it is all about understanding and being willing to adopt. For getting started, figure out hardware compliance, the GPUs, and which VR headset you want to talk about, you want to pick up, software compatibility with the hardware that you're procuring, because as you take a newer software, there'll be things like the Steam VR, specifically in VR, I'm talking about Steam VR compliance, and various other things. So a SketchUp, are you a SketchUp user or are you a Revit user? For Revit, there might be a plugin, but SketchUp might be running native, so there will be some understanding. Nominate a VR champion. In your case, you would be yourself a VR champion, and encourage other stakeholders like consultants and product manufacturers to also adopt new technologies like VR. And make it a part of your day-to-day being, regular design review process, push your libraries into VR, make them experiential. All of that is going to happen once you kind of start using it. So taking the first step is what is going to be the most important thing for you. It's a right VR device. We are dealing with students, so I don't want to spend time on this one. And for you guys, I mean, it's an opportunity to really. So we spend a lot of time with students. We have had students of SPA, Sushant School. Now I'm going to Chitkara University next week, and I'm also here speaking to you guys. People have taken their final year thesis projects to the jury using VR, and I can't even tell you the level of excitement it has caused. And Sushant School students come back to us every year and they say, hey, listen, we do not unfortunately have it in our college yet, but we do definitely want to use the technology to showcase our thesis project. I think in 2018, there was one student. 2019, there were 18 students. And this year, I mean, we are already kind of done a workshop with about 70 students already. And their thesis is, of course, impacted due to the pandemic. But they are potentially 72 students who want to actually present their designs using VR. So it's just this sort of encouragement that we need. But why are they doing it? Because the first guy who used it said that, hey, listen, I got a crit on my design the way I have never been able to get in my 5 years of education, 4.5 years till then, of course, in my previous 4.5 years of the time at college, and not just that, due to this particular experience, the guy actually went and got a job at Gensler. And one of the key things that he had on his resume, he said was that what I could take and what nobody else could take was that he had prior experience of working with VR, It just helps you understand your designs better, explain your designs better. It provides a collaborative cloud platform. So if you're doing group projects, all of you can be in one model together. There are various benefits that actually come your way, and that you will be able to see once you get the product and start using it. So let's just quickly see what Trezi is. I have a video for you folks, and I'll share that, and that will probably make you understand some of the things that I've been talking about.
Trezi by SmartViz X is a fully immersive virtual reality product that dramatically transforms design experience, coordination, and collaboration in the architecture, engineering, construction industry by enabling your project team to experience the design at full scale. Trezi's comprehensive features support a number of use cases for architects, designers, and building product manufacturers and suppliers. From design.
You guys can hear the audio, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, it is audible.
Design presentation to client communication, design coordination, design review, and product mock-up and experience tours. All available in both Trezi's desktop mode or immersive VR mode. Trezi converts your 3D architecture or design model instantly into an interactive and immersive virtual environment. You can launch Revit, SketchUp, Rhino, or FBX design models with one click into Trezi's immersive workspace and immediately present the design to clients, colleagues, and other project stakeholders. You can also invite them in to experience the design firsthand at full scale and color and immediately understand the design intent. Use the tabletop mode to orient yourself or your audience, teleport to different spaces in the project, and capture your experiences with snapshots and videos. You can conduct interactive design reviews with project participants and discuss and agree upon design options and changes in real time. Create and set location tags to quickly navigate the design and turn layers off and on. To control the display of model elements. Adjust the time of day in geographic locations to explore daylighting. Insert model elements from Trezi's expanding product catalogs from leading building product manufacturers and its own library of assets and materials. You can modify the model by selecting and changing design elements from the library, or replace them with specified products from a catalog. Cut, copy, paste, duplicate, or delete model elements. Move or rotate model elements to adjust the layout. Layout grids and object snaps keep model elements in line. Share and communicate your design decisions with coworkers and collaborators using 3D renderings, 360-degree screenshots, panorama tours, or video walkthroughs which are saved in 4K quality. You can also easily share these via email, messaging apps, and social media. Building product manufacturers and suppliers can create a product's digital twin and replace the need for physical product samples. Trezi enables you to explore and understand the product design interactively in all phases of design. Experience these products in the actual design and space of your client. To experience this with your designs, subscribe to Trezi at our website and download the software to your VR-ready workstation or laptop. Along with your Steam VR-compatible virtual reality headset, such as the Oculus Rift or the HTC Vive or Vive Pro, you too will be ready to experience design at full scale. Trezi saves almost 30% of the time spent in the design process by enhancing efficiency and increasing design understanding, communication, and collaboration, thereby increasing productivity.
So one of the key points, not one, actually 3 key points that we were trying to highlight through that particular video was how do you utilize the VR edge? It's all about being immersed, and I'm sure a lot of you would have experienced VR already. You know, it's the magic of being immersed in your design. That is really what takes the level of understanding of the nuances, finer nuances of design to another level. It is the amount of interaction that an immersive environment allows between a client and an architect and the other members and stakeholders. The quality of discussion enhances because the understanding increases from the extended level of perception. You know, when we make 3Ds and they're static, it is still largely a 2D representation. You know, we never experience the Z-axis. The magic that VR and immersive technology brings in is the experience of Z-axis, and I'm telling you guys, it's beyond words. It really needs to be experienced for it to be for the value to be understood in the truest sense. So it's like I said, Trezi is a fully immersive virtual reality product, India's first, and that is as a product, as a platform which allows product manufacturers to now upload the product information, and that product information can be extracted by architects into their designs. That is actually taking the shape of being the world's first platform that connects architects and building product manufacturers and clients. None of the products that we have spoken about today actually have got the bridge that I'm talking about. Architects work on visualization stuff. Product manufacturers use platforms such as BIM objects and keep their product information updated there with a lot of challenges anyways. But Trezi is actually the first platform that hosts both the information, and in fact, Trezi has now integrated BIM objects, has an integration with BIM objects. So the 200,000 objects that BIM objects has is now available via Trezi as well. So it in itself takes a very different sort of a shape, which none of the other products currently offer. And we have customers on record saying that their design time was reduced by 30% because the clients actually understood what the design really needed was getting done. One, and it was quick, rapid iterations and prototyping that was able to get done inside of Trezi. And things that people usually take notes of, come back to the office, make changes, and then go back to the clients. All of that discussions were able to get done in an immersive meeting at the client sitting in his and her location, the architect sitting in his and her location. You know, so I was on a call with Hetal yesterday, and I was demoing a project to him. The architect was sitting in Bombay, the project was in Ahmedabad, and the client was in Calcutta. There were 16 changes that these guys were struggling with. All of us got into a Trezi immersive meeting, and all 16 changes were done in a span of 3.5 hours. Can you imagine that? The architect was worried that it would take 6 weeks for the designs to get changed and updated. All of that happened in a span of 3.5 hours. Imagine how much time can get saved if this technology was to kind of be there on every desktop out there. So that's the value proposition. Trezi improves design understanding, identifies design issues very early in the project life cycle, improves collaboration, and for product manufacturers and even architects who are in a competitive situation, it boosts sales and marketing. And overall client satisfaction is what we're talking about. That is at an absolutely different level. So we've come a fair distance in the past 2 years since we launched Trezi. Our ideal customer profile was really an architect who had 3D modeling practices in their office, but now we've got leading architectural firms in the country and internationally. We've got FLAD architects in the US using Trezi. We've got Takinaka Corporation in Japan using Trezi. We've got users in Singapore, Bangkok, but that's not what I'm genuinely proud of. I get very proud of the fact that, you know, there are architects in Siliguri and there are architects in Meerut who are actually using Trezi right now. Because my dream, I'll tell you, as the person who created Trezi, was that it is a product that should find its way on every architect's desk. It is not something that should become a privilege. It should become a necessity. And I'm really, really happy to see that. Of course, there are educational institutes which have started using Trezi now. There are IPCs like Cushman Wakefield, CBRE. There are companies such as GMR and Ultratech Cement and Larsen and Toubro who are using Trezi. In fact, one of the largest users of Trezi today with 21 subscriptions is SmartWorks, one of the fastest growing co-working spaces. And what they are using it for is selling their co-working spaces, showing the design intent and configuration of co-working spaces to their potential customers right in the middle of the pandemic by using the virtual meeting option. I just end with a couple of customers, what they have to say about Trezi, and that's it then. So Bijoy was one of the first, Bijoy Ramachandran of 100 Hands, somebody I have a lot of regard for. He was one of the first and the earliest Trezi users. And when I went to Bijoy's office, I thought that, hey, listen, nothing's going to work out here, because he's a guy who is a traditionalist, he's a Puritan, believes in sketching. His office is full of models, physical models that Prem was showing in his presentation. But I was like, I'm not sure if technology is going to cut it for him. But I'm telling you, 30 seconds it took. He saw it in the VR. He said, Gautam, I need it tomorrow. How soon can I get this? And I was like, and he's been around. So it's been this year, he's done his third renewal, So that's the value he was able to extract. And why did he do that? You can hear it from him himself. Hang on, I'll just run this.
So it is not screening.
Sorry, you can't see it?
Yes, sir. Can't see it.
Hang on, let me try it again. Can you see it now?
No, sir.
Hang on a sec. I think what's happening is because I've just shared one tab. Let me just.
Now we can see, sir.
Now you can? Okay, cool. Yeah,
Yes.
I was checking just one tab. That's why. Just a sec.
So it is not audible.
Just a sec.
Yeah, yes. That's
Now you can hear it?
yes, sir. Yes.
We've had a really tough time often communicating information to clients in terms of, just expressing to them what we're trying to do spatially and in terms of, just psychologically being within a space. And by chance, this friend of mine, he introduced us to Gautam and to Trezi Software. They came into the office and in a few minutes, they had plugged in one of our models into the software, and lo and behold, we were inhabiting this building that we had only built on the computer, and it blew our socks off. I mean, it was just immediately apparent how effective this could be as a communication tool, especially with a lot of our clients who can't visualize the third dimension, who can't read drawings. And so this would become an incredible, effective way to sort of have that conversation about what it is we're trying to do. We've since, after having purchased Trezi and used it for some time, we've seen two major benefits. One, of course, is the communication with our clients, but also for us to visualize all of the various things we're trying to do with the building, the junctions, the way we coordinate services, the way we handle structure, especially metallic, metal buildings, and all of the conditions that come up in those sorts of constructions. So Trezi's really helped in sort of communication and visualization. So I would recommend it highly. Get it without thinking. It's just incredible.
So that was Bijoy. He's someone like I said, I really look up to. It's not just that he's a Trezi user; he's also somebody who gives us a lot of feedback, and that's what we love. I mean, we are in a situation where a lot of times in the early days we got told off. That how will an Indian company and two architects who have no technology experience, how would you pull this off? There are companies in this race which have been around for 20-25 years. One, the conviction. Second, good customer feedback and working very closely with customers has helped us. And extremely proud to have come thus far. And the journey, I think, is only getting started for us. From an India-specific sort of an approach, we are opening up into international markets now. We've got Darren Riza, who incidentally actually was at Autodesk when Autodesk acquired Revit back in 2001, and he took Revit to Skidmore Rowing it was Charles River Software at that time, and took it to SOM and worked on the Freedom Tower project. And he did with Revit what we expect him to do with Trezi now. So Darren sits in Chicago and helps is helping us getting the product to be US sensitive now, so that there is an international flavor, and now Trezi can expand into international markets. So that's been our journey. That's been something that we like I said, we're extremely proud of. But yes, there are users like Bijoy who we kind of thought had they not been there in the early part of our journey, it would have been tough to shape it. But we also have got amazing customers, amazing customers in the list that you saw. And then we also have our favorite captain who retired recently. He was struggling with the architect to understand how his house in Bombay, that a penthouse in Bombay that was being designed would come up. And we took Trezi to him. So this guy had the opportunity to buy any software, but found out about Trezi, called us, and let's see what Dhoni has to say here. Oops.
Ready.
So, Shantanu, do you think you were able to explain the design intent of the house better using Trezi?
Yes, so basically the whole satisfaction that I get myself also to visualize the space in the right proportion. For me, that was the only worry. Design, I can definitely narrate through a lot of other mediums, but narrating them into the scale was really important. And the rest, like Mr. Dhoni will say that how was his experience.
What do you think was the intent explained to you better than it would have been on the drawings and just on the physical model if you would have guided one?
The drawings is something that they have been used to for a very long time. This is completely new. What it does is it gives you a proper exposure of the space and where you're standing, and also the color perspective. Let's say if you're putting in the colors, okay, this is what the sofa color will be, how it will look along with the background colors and all of that. So it gives a very realistic picture, and I think it will get with years and it can keep improving. You can always keep adding new features year after year, and you don't really know what's good. Because with the technology coming in, it can always improve further. But as of now, it looks fantastic to me, because I'm somebody who needs to see it to believe it. I'm not. A lot of times people say, okay, this wall. I'm like, no, I can't see any of the walls. And in pictures, a lot of times it's very difficult to judge what exactly the architect means. And this I felt was a realistic view of how the house will look, how exactly the furniture will be placed. And once you're standing inside, you can always tell them, okay, I want maybe a few changes here and there. But I felt it was slightly easy, once my wife was quiet and I was allowed to do the maneuvering on my own. So so other than that, I think it was fantastic.
Thanks so much. Thank you so much for your time. Please just expectation of inside time.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Thanks.
So that's what it is. Of course, there's the Dhoni side of it, guys. But more than the Dhoni side, I would just urge you to understand the customer's perspective. If the client was not understanding the design side of things at all for 6 months, and 3 hours we spent with him in his home, and every decision was achieved. So that's what the power of immersive technology helps us with. And I would like to end here. Thank you so much. And once again, it was a pleasure being here. Thanks, Siddharth, for organizing this. And it was absolute privilege to be here today with Hetal and Prem. Great session, and happy to take any questions if there are.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for the beautiful presentation. And it actually gives us a new inspiration of how we can actually work in our future projects. Right. So, yeah, now we can take the questions which were filled in the Google form. So, yes, sir. So, actually, sir, we can have a review from all three of you for the same question. So it is like, first question is from Ruchik Rathod is what if 3D visualization can use for final execution of buildings instead of making detailed drawings in AutoCAD? Can't we use detailed 3D renders or something like that for the execution state for certain limitations?
I think Hetal should take that. Hetal and
Definitely, that's what we have been doing since last 10 years, that how best we can build the building before it is getting built on the site. So adding all details for actual constructability elements and how it's going to build or what stage of building and what things are going to build at different stage of times. That's what is BIM all about. That you add information, the character, it has the category, it has all the information, what is its own category and its own characteristics, which will help them to identify that this is element which is going to be a supporting system, or it is a ceiling, or it is a flow, or if it is a structural element. So everything it is always been with information, and that's how BIM helps to build a building on site on virtual platform before it goes to the sites. And that's how we solve the problem of complexity and coordination issue that might come up at a later stage of the site. So for most of the part, when overall BIM model is being done, it's not required to do a detailed drawing for everything that is there. And BIM is virtually on-site condition where the construction people are actually accessing drawing, doing a simulation, checking available space of building overall building in a factory and then getting it built on site. It is there. And that's how we've been progressing more. Thank you.
You can unmute yourself, Ruchik, if you are here, and this answers your question.
Answer your question, yeah.
He is in the meeting, but okay, sure. We can take next question. So, what are the career opportunities? This question is from Divya Bharaj. So, what are the career opportunities in this particular direction of the field, especially in these tough times of pandemic? And where do we go from here as in the future? What are the skill sets and interested individuals can develop?
Let me say something about it. As you can see, all these three, we three are architects. None of us is doing practice, or none of us is into hardcore architectural design stuff. Hetal is doing BIM, I'm doing visualization, Gautam is software owner. So there are a lot of opportunities. Technology has a lot of space. People can decide as per their interests. No need to stick to just practice or hardcore architecture. Some of you may stick, some of you may practice, some of you may go to big firms, small firms, take a job, take experience and start your own firm. Some of you may not do conventional things. Some of you may find alternatives. Yeah, so keep open mind, keep looking for opportunities. There is lot of opportunities all around the world in architecture field. I have seen many architects doing good photography, good software developers. They are I mean making a nice contribution to architecture field without being into architecture, and yeah, that way entire architecture industry is evolving and improvising. So keep looking. There is lot going on.
At the same time, is not many fields are where you can not required to be going to do a physical presence in the office. So it's a sharing environment is being developed. Overall, crowd environment is getting developed. So this will also open up new fields. And I've seen that architecture field or AC industry is very much behind when we talk about the other industry in the technology integration. When we talk about medical field, it is far beyond when compared to architecture or AC industry. So it is a lot of opportunity or a lot of new things that require to be done in this field, at least in Indian or Asian countries, where opportunities are beyond to when you start working on technology or other fields where we integrate technology or try to understand the design process or construction process. So a lot of chances, a lot of opportunities out there. The only thing is we need to pick one and then take a deeper dive and understand things.
Sure, sir. So there are a few more questions, but I think, sir, they've got answered in some or the other way. So we can turn up for the live questions if there are any. Is there any live questions you guys would like to ask? Then we just wrap up this session. Yes, sir. So I don't think so. There is any question.
Okay, guys. There are no stupid questions. Remember that. So please, if there is anything that you guys want to pick up, I know this session kind of ran longer than what we all anticipated, but again, the topic was such. There was so much to kind of get communicated to you folks, and you will not always get an opportunity of this nature. So feel free to ask. Don't feel shy. And like I said, there are no stupid questions in life ever. Yeah.
And so there might be things like we have not worked in technologies like this, so we don't actually experienced all these things. So there might not be so much doubts regarding this. But eventually, when we start in future using these technologies, we definitely going to refer all these things.
As far as these next steps, learning software or learning developing software is one thing. It is I don't know. Most of the people who have done software have never gone means formal training in this learning those software. They have been started working on it, and that's how they learn the software or explore those software to the limit that even the developer would have never thought of. And sometimes, so it's on the individual how they pick up, how they take up things. Because many times that we worked on some software that Autodesk were surprised that how you did this thing. And we got a reference and we got a review from them. So it's never a new thing. When we started doing it in 2008, it was a totally new first time I was learning about this software. I've never used again before that. So it's software learning is not a one thing, but it is easy. The only thing is how you adopt those things, how you customize to your need, how you put those things together, how you interoperate take information from one to other. That's how things work. So even I like the way your software Gautam is interacting and the way since our whole that's so. So if you're not know the software, don't worry about that thing. It is easy to learn the software. There are tutorials and things are available online.
Absolutely.
You need to customize. You need to trick or the way you want it to perform it. That's all.
There's a question dropped in the chat box. Is there any difference in cracked and licensed version?
Yeah, there's a lot of difference. Yeah, Kashyap. Now people, software companies will run after you if they find out that you're running a cracked version.
As far as you are a student, you can definitely work with a student price version.
Yeah, you get students benefits now on most of the software. I mean, we give a I think Lumion has a free subscription. Twinmotion is free for students. Autodesk, anyways, yeah.
Autodesk has all the software which are available for free. Means for the students, at least for a year, so you can use that.
Right. So I would suggest avoid cracked software, but well, we've all done it in our time. So I mean, I won't say anything about what to do and what not to, but avoid if you can, because the companies are far more conscious of it now. They'll catch you here, no point.
And when you start working on a work sharing environment, it's not possible to work on a cracked software because we are logging in through a cloud platform, and that's how it is going to work. So in next future, after some years, it will be difficult to crack a software and then work on it. So they have their own ways of stopping it.
Hope this answer to you, Kashyap.
I think instead of using cracked one, you should try open source software. They are pretty nice. I mean,
definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. Use the open source ones. Yeah. Absolutely right.
There are many options available. You can try that.
There is another question dropped by Ayushi Srivastav. Does Trazy have student version?
Yeah, Ayushi, unfortunately, it's not free, but it's significantly discounted. And we allow students to pay over a duration of 12 months. So it becomes extremely easy to actually adopt for students. And we are actually working with HP right now to be able to bring the hardware to the students also at a very, very reduced price. So we are very soon, in a week or so, all of you will receive a mail. We are launching a new student-friendly program. And yes, to kind of very succinctly and answer that question in a manner that's understood, yes, we do have a student version. It will be called Trazy Campus, and it will be out very soon, within a week or so.
Thank you, sir. So, yes, if there is not any question, we can wrap up this.
I'll put my email ID here, guys. Feel free to reach out to me directly. I'll be more than happy to work with you kids to kind of make you understand we are better. Like we said that we have already gone to 3 universities. We are on the process of going to the 4th one. And we'll be more than happy to run a certification program for whichever universities you are or institutes that you are a part of. Reach out to me and I'll connect you to the right people in the company.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. So, with this, I would like to extend my thanks to everyone present here and especially our speakers. So we are grateful that you have taken the time to prepare and spend an evening with us. Thank you, everyone. We hope you will be able to join us again. Await another drop of message for the same. Stay tuned. This is your host, Siddharth.
Thanks, guys. Lovely seeing you all.
Thanks, Siddharth. Bye.
Bye-bye, sir.